Okay, so today in the unfinished hoop house, we're going to be doing wicking buckets, and that is going to help us start our season earlier and help our season go a little bit further than we usually do. And we may end up liking it better than anything altogether. So anyway, stay with us and we'll show you how to make these things into food. But I had a buddy of mine that has a bunch of cows save all of his all of his feed tubs for me. These are just feed mineral tubs like they give to cattle. And of course they stack them up. These have been stacked up for a while. And I don't know if you've ever tried to pull these apart, but it's easier to pull a tractor out of the mud than it is to get these things apart. But if you use a little compressed air, it'll break that suction and they'll just pop apart. The other important thing is to try not to throw up, because these things smell terrible on the inside. All right, so we're gonna use this 4-inch drain pipe. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, and we have some other ones that I've already covered up, unfortunately. But this 4-inch drain pipe, so I need some drain holes 3 inches above the bottom, which just happens to be this bottom ring right here. So I'm gonna pop a couple of holes like that. And then 180. Like that. Then I cut this right here, and it'll go down the bottom, similar to that right there. And then the other way you can do it is cut another 11-inch piece of the perforated pipe. That pipe has got slits in it. I don't know if y'all can see you see those slits? So it's got slits in it, like right here, etc. But you can also, like we got these jugs right here. I think 2 will fit in there, but I have to put a couple of holes in these so the air can get out when I fill it up. The way I did the other one was I put another little piece of pipe, an 11-inch piece, in there to cover the bottom. The idea is to try to get about 85% of the soil that's going to go into this tub not touching the bottom, because this will be filled. I'm going to put another hole in this right here. This will be filled there. So this is the only part that the soil is going to touch down here. And what it's going to do is act like a wick, these 2 areas of soil that are going to be connected, of course, to the soil that's filling this bucket. And it's going to draw water up from the bottom. There'll be a fill tube that I haven't cut yet. I don't know, I'm not going to cut it. So, I went there and cut this piece of, this is our fill pipe right here. I cut an angle. I didn't pay attention to what it was, and it doesn't matter what it is. But basically, I want this part right here to have water to be able to free flow out of it when it's sitting on the bottom of the bucket. If I had it sitting on the bottom of the bucket like that, it would be a little bit harder to fill it. It would still fill it, but it might take me longer. But by doing that, then I have a lot of area for the water to get out. So then I'm gonna stick this inside this corrugated pipe by just cutting out and it doesn't have to be exact. And I probably could have done this before I put the pipe in there. Just like that. And then I'm gonna cram this down in there. There we go, just like that. So there's our fill pipe. All right, so the idea, this gets filled with dirt, and this will all make sense as we go through the process. But this will get filled with dirt. You'll put water in here. This pipe is 4 inches. The hole that I drilled in the side is 3 inches from the bottom. This pipe's 4 inches. So that means that there should be about 3 inches of water in the bottom of this bucket at all times. And the soil will wick that up to the plants. Now, I could have done this with 6-inch pipe, which would allow me more water and more time in between waterings. This is supposed to help on kind of just giving the plant the water it needs, supposedly. I've never done this before. I have messed around with wicks and stuff like that, and you see the little pans on the bottom of potted plants too, which is somewhat the same thing, or can act the same way as a wick. But so we decided to not to try one, but about 15 of these things for the first time, which is kind of not probably the best way to go about it. It's kind of like deciding you want to try hot foods and eating a habanero first thing. So that's the reason these holes have to be in the bottom of these coffee cans, because otherwise they would try to float up. You know, with the hole in there, then that air escape and the air will be able to escape. So that's this part. The thing's built. Now we're going to go fill it with some soil and then eventually plant. So now I'm going to put some soil to the top of my 4-inch pipe and those coffee jugs. Now, I don't know if y'all have ever watched Gardening with Leon, but he's got a really good channel and he's big into wicking tubs, and that is where most of this information has come from, and he probably does a heck of a lot better job explaining it, because most of it he does in hickory stripe bib overalls, and you got to believe anybody in hickory stripe bib overalls. And Webb Cajun is another one that I started watching a long time ago. I think he passed away about 5 years ago, but his videos are still on YouTube, and he's another good one. So anyway, fill this up about halfway. I mean, not halfway, to the top of the containers. All right, so you can see the fill tube is still sticking out. Then we add some stuff. I've heard all different, recipes, but a little bit of Epsom salt, which is magnesium. Oh, this is my measuring cup. I think it's a paint can thing. This is a little bit of garden lime. I know that this paint can thing, full to the brim, is about a half a cup, so that's about a quarter cup or so. And then we got some of this Job's organic vegetable and tomato. We're gonna do about a half a cup of it. I'm sure y'all have your own recipes for all this. So then we got some of my wife's compost ingredients, ancient Chinese secret. So I'm not measuring that, but that's the good stuff right there. So I put about that much of that in there, and then I'll fill it the rest of the way with some more of this soil mixture that we made. Okay, so now we're going to make a soil mixture. This is some stall pickings, which is basically from a horse farm where they pick out the stalls, that I got a little over a year ago, and it's been sitting in this pile breaking down, and that's what we're making our soil with. I'm using mostly this, but I am adding some topsoil that I got from our local co-op, which is pretty good stuff, but it's a little bit too heavy for a container mix. And I'm mixing it about 2 to 1. So what I'm gonna do is throw about 14 scoops of the stall pickings in the little garden trailer with 7 scoops of topsoil.
Is he doing it right, Lou? You gonna count for him? You're just along for the ride, aren't you, baby?
What is nice is having it in this little garden trailer, because it's got a slick metal bottom, which makes turning it easy. So I don't want to fill the trailer all the way up, because then it'd be hard to have a, you know, be like taking a mixing bowl and filling it to the rim. It'd be very hard to mix it. And it doesn't have to be perfect, you know. As long as it kind of looks about the same, I'm happy. This is how they're going to be set up in the hoop house. This is a big rain variety. All right, so then I'll just dig a hole right here in this stuff. I usually like to pinch off the bottom couple of branches. And there you go. Just like that. Now I probably will water it in from the top since it just got set in there, but I'll also fill the fill tube with water until it runs out of these weep holes on the side, which will let me know that I've got 3 inches of water in the bottom of this. So now, 10 more to go, and we're off to a different way of growing tomatoes. All right, so now I got about 8 or 10 more of these pots to do. So I'm gonna get busy on that, but we appreciate y'all watching. And if you could hit that like and subscribe button, it supposedly helps us. I don't think it does that until we get to about 1,000 subscribers. So basically right now we're working for free. So if y'all could help us not work for free, that'd be a big deal. So thanks again for watching. Please hit like and subscribe and the little bell button